How did I find that mark? Well, essentially what I did was I put the two pieces together. They were actually, the right side to the right side. Folded the zipper up as best I could to get in there and get a. And I actually did pin it, although that was done a little earlier. Pinned it all the way to get it as taut as possible. And then I went in with a marker and made my mark. See it there? Made my mark. Okay? But that was after I had pulled everything and I was sure that it was close. If you're a 1/16 of an inch off or something like that, it's no big deal. If it's way off, then it's a problem. You got to take out at least one of these pieces. Okay, we're going to sew it now with the zipper. Okay, we are now going to sew down the other part of the zipper that was not previously installed, and you'll see that the teeth will follow into that channel. Definitely remove these pins before you get too close, and see to it that try to keep the zipper on that seam line that you drew earlier. And you just go all the way down the line. Okay, now that you've done both sides, it's going to look something like this. It's like, gee whiz, this looks awful. I don't want this looking like that. Looks like it's a real mess, but it actually isn't. One thing I would really recommend, because these teeth can get caught up in loose threads and all kinds of stuff, is get rid of all that stuff as much as you can. Obviously don't damage the fabric, but just get rid of them, because they can catch up, and that's a disaster. The other thing I want to mention is, notice I did leave a bunch of the bottom of the zipper unstitched. There's a really good reason for that, and you're going to see that when I actually zip it up. Now, this is how it looks when you've done both sides. Okay? Now, when you close the zipper, watch out for it getting caught. Now, look at this. Turn it over. Just turn it over. And get it so that it looks like it's on the... So everything looks cool. And you'll see that actually the fabric folds under. It's going to be folded like that. We're going to zip it like that. All the way to the top. And there you go. That's it. An invisible zipper. Let me do that again. So you got caught there. There was a piece of thread. I'm going to get rid of that. Get it out of there. Thread. Hate these loose threads. Get that out of there. Okay. And once again, you flipped it over, and it might look like this. It might look like that. But really what you're doing is you're folding it over. You see there's that seam line. You fold it over. Make it easier. Give it a couple of stitch pulls, and ba-boom. Invisible zipper. There it is. Okay, now we have to close up the bottom, and obviously we've got to take care of this loose end down here, but that's quite simple, and we're going to do that next. That's pretty good. It came out nice. Look. Oh, okay, let me show you this. Alright, I was a touch off, just a touch, on that seam. Can you see it? Just a little off, but it's so small. I'm not going to sweat it. It's not even a 1/16 of an inch. No one's going to see it. As my wife's grandmother would say, a blind horse would see it, and you're definitely not going to see that when you're working with real fabric. It's just not going to be. It's not going to be noticeable. If it was more than that, yeah, then you got a problem. You got to take it out. Take at least one side out and fix that. Notice at the top. Top is consistent. There's a lot of goobers here. Get rid of that. But anyway, we'll close that all off and make it neat later. But this is, they should match up at the top, which they do. So that's how you do an invisible zipper. Okay, so you got both your sides in. It zips up okay. You're feeling pretty good. But wait a minute. What about all this area down here that hasn't been sewn? I mean, you got to still sew that together. And how are you going to do that? Well, the thing basically what you do is you pull this out of the way. You pull the thing out. Remember we didn't finish down here? Okay. And we're going to try to get as close as we can to this seam line. If you're a little off, and you probably will be, that's okay, as long as as you go down the line, you go to your normal 5/8. I will show you that in a moment, but you're never going to get this line, the end of where you sewed, probably never, to exactly match 5/8 here. It's very hard to do, but you will as you go further down the line, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so here we are at the bottom of the zipper. Pull away the loose area and pin it. Pin right underneath. You're going to try to get as close to that last sewing line as you possibly can. You can see it there, I hope. There it is. And you want to get it. You want to do your normal 5/8 all the way down. Like I said, it's very unlikely you're going to get a perfect 5/8 at this point here, but don't worry about that. That's okay. Okay, as you can see, what I've done is I've switched now to a normal presser foot, and I've dropped my needle as close as I can to the 5/8 line. It's actually right on the finishing line. We're now going to go all the way down the line at 5/8 and finish this thing off. I'll do a few stitches here so you can see what's going on. Let me get this. I dropped the needle in there so I can take this one out. You really don't want to be leaving needles in. I'm just going to go a little bit. Okay, this is still free, and now I'm pretty much at 5/8 already. But I am swinging in, and we're going to go down the line. We're going to go all the way down the line, which you don't need to see. You've seen this a million times, and just to finish it off. All right. Well, as I explained, it's almost impossible to get it on that 5/8 line when you're under here. But there's a little bit of problem there. But basically, after you go a couple stitches, you're fine. You can just go down to 5/8. And if you're really concerned about any issues here, you can always hand tack that. One of the questions though that I was raised to me was, well, now we got this thing sticking out in the back. I mean, it's going to be secure, it's not going anywhere, but what do you do? Well, if it really bothers you, it's not hard. All you got to do is press the zipper down there flat, and just I would hand tack that if you really want it down. You don't want it bothering you in the back. Just do that. It's nothing. You can just do that in a few seconds and you're all done. That's all. The main thing is you don't want it catching. So, like I say, it's when you come in here to close this seam off, you're almost never going to get it right on that 5/8 at the beginning. But then, as you go down a little bit, you definitely will get it on 5/8. So you got to swing it down. They all do it that way. I haven't seen any other way to take care of that little gapping that goes on, but it's nothing. No one's going to see it, and to go from there. I'm going to